I'm Skullduggery.
And I'm Boonedoggle, and today...
I love Discord soundboard. I hope that picked up.
I'm keeping that as the opening of the thing. And today, with our lovely guest, Jinxy, we're here to jibber-jabber about Helluva Boss, Season 1, Episode 8, Queen Bee.
What are your guys' thoughts on the most recent... Well, I guess not really most... Well, okay, it is the most recent episode.
Well, I guess the season ender, I guess.
Yeah. Go on, ask your question.
Yeah, what were your guys' thoughts on it?
Well, Jinxy, we didn't really like it.
I didn't really care for this episode.
That's completely fair. I felt the exact same way.
I watched just 2 times, and I still didn't like it.
we watched it 2 times. Second time, we pointed out even more inconsistencies that made us mad.
Yeah, we had to listen to the song again, and it was not fun.
Not fun.
No.
Like,
I hated that song too, man.
It's been stuck in my head, and I'm just in so much pain.
it's not House of Osmodeus. It's not.
No. It was not.
Hey.
I just really thought kind of for the episode, I felt the pacing was all over the place. Like, I felt it was weird. She starts at the party, gets in a confrontation with, I guess, a hellhound. I found out the name, the Vicky, I guess is the poodle's name.
Vicky.
Did not know that, but I found out.
Vicky.
Yeah, that poodle she gets in a fight with.
Oh, yeah, that one, yeah.
The one who basically...
Vicky the Hellhound.
And we were talking about, and we were like, why did she...
She's basically a Regina George,
kinda, I don't know what she was.
knockoff. Like,
I don't know.
I want to say knockoff, more like a...
I don't know what she was, honestly. But,
a reference.
We were just talking about why did Luna kind of go over somewhere and interject herself into a conversation that she had no idea what was going on. Because she did not know what was going on, and they immediately picked on her.
And I wouldn't honestly interject myself into a conversation with someone who I genuinely know and don't get along with.
Yeah, then it turned out that somehow these two know each other because she said, hey, it's you, Lunatic Luna. So it implied that Luna's been to parties before or whatever, so she's gotten wasted before, I guess.
I know, yeah, that really confused me.
I was like...
It is confusing.
It was really confusing because I'm like, okay, so she has been to parties before and she's gotten really wasted and embarrassed herself or something.
What struck out to me in that scene was, okay, watching it twice, I remember Bee noted that she can like taste the vibes of the room, like when she said that Blitz was causing trouble.
Right.
In that moment where Vicky said like she's keeping this photo because it brings her joy, and then Luna like calls her a bitch, and then the whole room like stops and like everyone in there just like becomes uncomfortable. And like people are telling her you can't call her that. And I was confused whether or not because they're dogs.
Because they're like,
if it was
hellhounds.
They're hellhounds. So I was confused whether or not it was a slur amongst their species.
And it seemed like it was a no-no word until the...
And also I was confused to the fact, why didn't Bee come down? Everyone like Bee like put a stop to that because the confrontation got a little...
It got extremely heated.
It got extremely heated, and everyone in that room got uncomfortable, and they told Luna, no.
You can't say that. And it's like, okay. And then...
And I'll reference this to later, as in when...
this is actually the next scene where you hear a disembodied voice literally actually say the word. How was it okay for...
My dirty bitches.
Yeah, how was it okay for the disembodied voice, who we do find out is B, but how does the disembodied voice get to say it, but Luna was told she could not?
That's a good point.
I don't know why, like, Luna can't say it. I mean, yeah, she was calling someone, insulting someone, and I guess the B character was not insulting people, but she still used the word. So I was like, what point are we trying to make here in the episode if you can't say the B word?
And then, we're introduced to Bee and her song, and then she's done with her song.
Lovely song.
she comes over and like Tex introduces her as his girlfriend, and then she's like,
Actually, watching, I was like, watch this. As soon as the fucking
the first thing she says,
she's gonna be the girlfriend.
yeah,
And she was.
the first thing she says to Luna is, "Nice to meet you, bitch." And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Like, Jesus.
You just called her a bitch. I thought we just established we can't call each other bitch here.
I thought that was it, but I guess it's okay for B to do it.
And like she
Not
calls
Luna.
her bitch again like a couple minutes later.
She kept saying actually the B word. I watched this a second time and noted she says the B word to like a lot of people.
A lot of hellhounds here.
She actually refers to herself as the B word, like maybe in a different
So I don't know
scene.
why it was like a big thing for Luna to like get in trouble for
It
saying
felt
the
like
B
it
word.
was just over the top kind of drama in the beginning and stuff for that and stuff to only have to say, and I was kind of like, why? So, okay, so then I guess Luna feeling further dejected after meeting his girlfriend, who we actually find out is a sin, that, like, no one really reacts that she's actually the sin of gluttony here.
Her reaction is, "You're hot."
You're hot, not you're, oh my, you're a sin?
Everybody treated her like, pretty normal, like a host, the host of the party.
Yeah, she didn't come off like someone of a ruler of one of the places here. Whatever it's called.
There's a hierarchy system?
I guess. I don't really know.
Well, yeah, they said that hellhounds are below imps.
Yeah, hellhounds are way below imps.
So what is B doing with Vortex?
And how is it not a problem, actually, like, or a controversy, actually, for her to be dating a hellhound? Like, it's not even,
Go on, Jinxie.
this could have been brought up in other even episodes that she was dating, like, a mysterious hellhound. We could have done that maybe in other episodes and then find out, oh, Vortex is the hellhound. I don't know.
That's a very good point. I feel like that would have been really comedic.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I agree. When I saw that she was, like, the hellhound, like, right, she's supposed to represent gluttony and whatnot. First off, I was really confused, because I hear so many goddamn mixed messages about whether or not, like, the whole class system in this world. At this point, I've just kind of given up on the series ever bringing it up. I noticed they started to kind of mention it a little bit in, like, the episode where they take, Western Energy, when they're at the vet. And
that one.
Yeah, and they kind of mentioned something like that during the vet visit, where there's, like, this bratty kid and his, like, kind of bitchy mother there, and they're just being kind of racist. And
that's true.
That's
where
about,
you see,
that's about as far as I remember them kind of going into classes that much in recent episodes. So,
kind of the racism, I guess, in the world.
Yeah, it just kind of established that there's prejudice and a little racism between classes.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, overall, I was just thinking, like, okay, so hellhounds are at the bottom of the scale, okay? Or whatever, they're at the very bottom. So one of them is suddenly, one of the main sinners, or whatever, the king of her realm, like, basically the thing of gluttony.
Well, yeah, the
ruler
of a ring.
Of
a
one of
ring?
the rings, I guess they call
The
it.
gluttony ring, whatever.
And I couldn't help but think, like, I'm a bit confused. It's like, it's at the bottom of the food.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah.
It's not
They're
really
treated
a huge thing, but at the same time, I was kind of confused why that was. And then on top of that, like, you're right, with the whole thing with Luna, and her, this is a bit different, but with her wandering up to Vicky, and just kind of interjecting herself, it was very odd, since she immediately, like, they pull up the picture, so they've met before, they're aware of each other, and she just tries to basically get bullied, and it's really weird. I did not understand that at all.
Yeah, she walked in and
if
out.
She knew Vicky. She would think she wouldn't have went up to someone she possibly knows then to get bullied.
Yeah,
like,
essentially.
You asked for that one.
and why didn't V come down when, taste the vibe of the room when Luna made everyone uncomfortable when she called Vicky a bitch?
Yeah, it brought down the party and there was nothing.
Because later in the episode, B and Vortex pull Luna aside.
Yeah.
And tell her that,
Well, actually, before we get to that, it's just the pacing is weird where
go on.
She gets dejected, I guess, even more of seeing that, not that his girlfriend, I guess, is a sin, but I guess his girlfriend's hot. So she, I guess, decides to just leave the party because she feels like she's already, I guess, the outcast there, I guess, already. So, and implies even more. He's like, "You're not even going to stay for a drink," and she's like, "Nah, you wouldn't like me after one drink." So I guess she's saying that even when she gets alcohol in her, she's not a good person or whatever, or her anger issues are worse. I'm assuming. So she
That's a good point.
leaves, and she's just going out there, gonna cry.
She starts crying.
Finally calls Blitz because she actually ignored his phone call in the beginning of this to now only call him.
Yeah,
Get her the hell out of here now.
That's a little bit of a contrast there.
Yeah, she ignored him, and now she's calling him.
And he straight up came when she called.
Oh yeah, it did not even
drove up like a bat out of hell, knocked over a plant.
It didn't even take that long. It was like
first thing he asked, "Baby girl, you okay?"
Yeah, he did because he cares about her.
She's like, "No, let's just go." She
gets in there. She's like, I want to leave. I don't want to be here anymore. Till then,
some random imp
recognizes Blitz out of everything.
And Blitz, I don't know, corrects him and says it's the O is silent asshole.
Yeah.
And some rando hellhound.
There's a random
meathead walks over
outside, I guess.
You can obviously tell it's played by Edward Bosco
or whatever. And he comes up, he's like, the hottie's leaving, and it's like,
and then suddenly Luna just like
perks up, and she's like,
literally waves her hand over her face, and she's smiling.
She's like, and then
I think we should give this a shot.
Let's go back in. He's like, but no, we've had enough for tonight. And
I'm like, you were just crying. You were just cringing so hard. You wanted to fucking.
You were cringing in the car. You didn't even want to be there.
You wanted to cringe yourself out of existence. And now suddenly some rando hellhound calls you hot. You want to go back to the party?
Yeah.
What?
Okay, that's basically what they make it. That's her kind of reasoning. There's no other reasoning that they show here because she got called hot. She's like, well, let's go back in now. And he's, okay, he'll do it because, it's Luna. Blitz is very, he'll do anything for Luna. So they end up back in that party.
And I actually wrote this down. And so he ends up playing the drinking game with B.
Yes.
And he wins, and she's cheering him on, and everyone else is cheering him on. And I wrote down, Luna encouraged Blitz's self-destructive behavior just as long as she got good social standing amongst her peers.
It was the only time she was actually calling him dad, when she was actually proud of him for making her look better, is what it felt like to me.
Yeah, weird.
Can I interject there a bit? Like,
yeah, sure, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I've progressively come to dislike Luna more and more. Like, just generally as a character, I just don't like her anymore. Like, at first,
I got some points for you after, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like generally, I find, okay, her whole relationship with Blitz is just so weird because, like, okay, so he's kind of the overbearing but loving father figure.
He's trying to love her.
Yeah, he like inserts himself a lot more than he should, right? And it kind of annoys her at times, and she probably still has mixed feelings about the fact that, well, he's her father in a way. And she's okay, so at the very first pilot episode, right? He mentions to, like, he kind of keeps bringing up the fact that he's her dad. And there are a few times she's annoyed, especially at the time when he hugs her right at the center of the meeting. And I think he's like comforting her. He's comforting her, saying like she didn't do anything wrong. She's growling, but towards the end of the episode, he mentions how like, we don't. I forget exactly the line, but anyway, he comforts her and she smiles at him. Right?
I remember him sticking up for her, and she like smiled at that. She did.
I think it was because,
yeah.
I think Moxie was pointing out she's a bad receptionist, and she's just bad at doing her job. And he's like,
no.
He's like, do not speak that way to my receptionist. She's very sensitive. And then she's like smiling, and she goes, yes, I am.
Yeah, she smiled at that he stuck up for her. Yeah,
right.
I remember that actually.
And that gave somewhat of a personality thing. Like, she acts tough. But overall, she really does care about him, right? Like, it does actually.
Yeah, deep down, you would think.
Yeah, which was so confusing, right? Because throughout the series, it's somewhat kept in shape. Like, she doesn't really attack him or anything. She acts extremely passive-aggressive. But yet, it's clear that it still means a lot to her. And yet, in episodes like the first episode of Season 2, where they're seeing, I believe it's the first episode of season 2, Seeing Stars. She's beating the crap out of them in the first episode. She's never...
I think it was actually episode 2.
Oh, it was episode 2? Oh, forgive me.
I think. Yeah. I think I remember the episode 1. I think was actually about Stolas.
Oh yeah.
Oh
good
no,
point.
not
Go
that
on,
one. Yeah, I forgot about that one.
Yeah, that one.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
just Seeing Stars.
Yeah, just generally, she's beating the crap out of them, and it's because she.
Oh, that yeah. That scene made me uncomfortable.
And at the same time, I'm like, she's never done that before. I guess you could argue that he's actually bringing up Moxie's point, and that that would make her snap. But at the same time, she clearly knows that
that's a good point. It really is.
It really is. But she was never shown to be like fully violent towards him like that. So yeah.
What made me uncomfortable was that she has him pinned to the floor, and she took a frame and she started hitting him with the frame repeatedly.
Yeah, he's bigger than him. She can beat the.
It made me uncomfortable. I was like, oh my god.
She can beat the crap out of him because she is bigger than him.
Exactly, and it just.
And she knows he will not hit her back.
He won't hit back because not only that is someone he thinks of his daughter. He's not going to hit her back. So
what I mean is, like, he doesn't have to hit her back, but like he doesn't do anything to defend himself
because he won't. Because like he cares about Luna. He won't hit her back just because she's beating him. Like that does show he's different towards Luna.
Yeah, good point.
Exactly, and the whole time during that, I'm just thinking. She's just a massive bitch. Like, genuinely.
Oh, yeah, like, yeah.
There's nothing redeeming about her.
She still doesn't realize anything in that episode of what she did wrong, actually. Like,
she never did. And she just goes back to kind of abusing him at the end. Now, mind you, she does it with a smile on her face.
She even hits him again later. Like, she knees him in the crotch later on still.
Yeah, and
in that episode.
And it just
feels... And she slaps him with the book.
Exactly.
Like,
it just feels...
and she smiled about it. I didn't say that was a sweet smile. That was a smile like I just hit you. So I took it as.
It's supposed to be like a bitter, kind of like, not bittersweet, but it's supposed to be like, yeah, she hit him, but she does care about it. But that came off weird because she's never done that before. So this just feels like just disintegrating what, like, the relationship they had before. Which was a lot better in the respect that she didn't beat the crap out of him. And this just feels generally kind of abusive now, their relationship.
It made episode 8 even actually worse for me of seeing how she was nurturing in towards in the end. It actually made that season 2, episode 2 far worse.
Yeah, it's very jarring to see her go from nurturing, tucking him in, giving him a glass of water to pinning him to the floor and beating him with a picture frame.
Exactly. That came in my brain too.
I remember watching episode 8 going like, wow, this just makes that episode far, far worse now because...
It makes Luna far worse.
Oh, yes. Like, yeah.
Yeah, back to the party. He out drinks her. He wins. And I guess off screen he goes off and, I don't know, starts making out with people.
Yeah, Luna's having a good time now and stuff because...
And this is the point I wanted to get to. Tex and B pull her aside and they're like... hold on. I have it in my notes somewhere. Okay. Yeah, my point is, it would have impacted more if Luna had been the one who have noticed something was wrong with her father. It would have shown more to her for her character than just have the two, not just one person, but two people telling her something was wrong, you know?
Yeah, because they only noticed something. Luna did not at all.
That's a
she
good
actually
point.
She actually gets jealous and defensive after B is telling her this because she's already jealous of B and she doesn't like that someone's telling her something about Blitz that she thinks she knows more.
And also, B openly reveals that she's like, I can taste the vibe of the room.
Yeah, she said, and he's just doing.
And
this
then that
on
moment,
purpose.
I'm like, where were you when Luna called me a bitch?
She is selective here.
Okay, but also, well, I'll get into that in a second. She has
selective vibe tasting.
She couldn't stop. She was about to do her song. She couldn't stop the party and control that situation.
She has selective vibe tasting.
Exactly, but her song was about to go on. She couldn't do anything, guys.
Yeah, Luna was definitely in the wrong of how she handled the news that B and Vortex told her.
Yeah, because only those two surprisingly noticed. Not even Luna. Like, would have just had more impact to see her. She's in nurturing after, but it feels like she's only doing it because people told her to do it.
So she goes over to Blitz, and he's He's just making out with people, and they seem to be enjoying it. It's not like they're like he's making them kiss him against their will.
Okay, this is what I want to point out is that
They're enjoying it.
He says that he's doing this on purpose and getting wasted and doing this all on purpose just for the hell of
I'm
it.
like,
I guess,
what is he
'cause
doing
he's
on
going for
purpose?
shit. But he's only kissing. Like Luna literally finds her. She's like, "You're almost in a goddamn orgy." No, he's not.
No, he's
Everyone's
not.
Clothes are still
Everyone's
on.
clothes are still on. He's making out with one person.
I think he's only outside of the house. Like, I mean, he's not.
I think his name was Dennis. He was with Dennis right now.
Yeah,
And
Dennis.
I mean, there's people watching, but there's no orgy happening.
There's no orgy, and he was only making out. He wasn't really doing anything. Like, it would have been better if maybe we had seen a montage of him actually wrecking shit or really making people uncomfortable. Then that would have made it better.
It would have impacted more. I would like to see a montage of him
People not wanting him
bumping
at the
into
party.
people, getting into fights with people, throwing up on someone. I don't know. And then he's either like, these people love me. I don't have to leave.
Yeah.
You leave.
And then people actually want him gone though because he's so overstayed.
Just showing
his
people
welcome.
genuinely getting annoyed with him.
Yeah, and then people think he overstayed his welcome.
But no.
No.
And then he shoots Dennis off, and then some
He
guy
didn't like Dennis.
around the corner was listening, and he comes over and starts making out with him. And he wants to, because he pulled Blitz to him.
Yeah, Blitz was okay with that because the guy was like,
Nobody was
more
uncomfortable
attractive.
there. In
Like,
fact,
yeah,
the people
to
watching
him.
them looked very pleased watching Blitz and Dennis make out.
They were little
Exactly.
voyeurs.
Yes.
They were little voyeurs who were enjoying the show. I don't know how anyone was uncomfortable by Blitz, I guess. I don't know.
Yes, but overall, I thought B was very likable as a character, and I thought this episode just kind of highlighted Luna's negative traits and made her look kind of worse as a character.
And if anyone is saying this was a good episode for Luna, I really don't feel it was because she was
Ready to still continue to fight with B. She only stopped because she realized when she looked over at Tex.
Mad at B because she's jealous.
Tex is
and stuff.
uncomfortable. That was only when she decided to go check on Blitz.
That's when it feels like she only stopped because she saw Tex look uncomfortable and it kind of was like a slap in the face of the person she kind of likes is seeing her in a very negative way right now, and that's why she stopped because it was Tex. It was uncomfortable.
Agreed. I just generally like.
Yeah.
That's a very good point you brought up with the whole montage thing of Blitz maybe destroying the party or wrecking it a certain amount because like somebody recognizes him, right? So he's got a little bit of celebrity status there, right? So
Yeah.
him destroying the party, maybe getting a bit of an ego when he's like really drunk, that was like perfectly set up. That could have happened, but it didn't. And I can't help but feel it was because the writing might have been really rushed or something. Like, I'm very surprised they would, I don't know, it just seems like a very natural way to progress things and make things fall into place with Blitz.
Yeah.
Yeah, Blitz just destroying the party, becoming a bit more of a nuisance. And yeah, generally, it's a very good point. I didn't notice that at first, but yeah, the fact that, forgive me, why am I forgetting? Yeah, like her friends. Oh my god, Vortex. There we go. Vortex and B. Like they're the ones to see Blitz in the state that he is, and not Luna. That's it. Just I really just feel like she doesn't really give a shit about him. It
ruins the nurturing scenes of her actually caring for him when it's like she didn't notice that he was fucked up in the first place.
And like I said, she only encouraged his self-destructive behavior just as long as it got her in good social standing amongst her peers.
There you go. That's a very good point.
True.
Thank you.
Another thing, this is kind of just completely off topic, but the song Cotton Candy, I just generally found it extremely annoying. But one thing I was a bit confused by was it didn't really talk all that much about gluttony. Well, like, it kind of did, but I was kind of expecting something more based in hell, or just something relating to the sin more. It just felt more like just generally a pop song. That's all it was.
It was a party song, yeah.
It got
That's a good point.
Fast.
And now that you bring that up, I thought B was going to be evil. Like, she's sucking the life, because the way Luna was looking around the room,
like, she wasn't eating or indulging in anything. I thought
that people were going to be like, I thought, like, she was going to, like, had an agenda and was going to make people overeat or something.
Control them.
Queen Bee, like, like, hive mind shit.
Something like that, yeah.
No,
and Luna wasn't.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Luna was not eating or drinking anything, so I thought that was possibly a point that she's not indulging in anything. Maybe that was a point that B was going to be evil or something, but she was not.
Yeah, it feels like there were so many cool setups, but nobody took advantage of it. Like, there were so many little things they could have done. Like,
yeah, the pacing was really weird in this episode.
I find
Go on, Jinxie.
Yeah, the episodes just recently have been very weird in pacing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I can't really say I have a whole lot other to mention about that episode in particular, but I have like a fairly large list of like just general things I find annoying about Helluva Boss, and it just makes me so frustrated with the series in general.
I felt like, just really quick, like, what is it? The song is 2 minutes and 50 seconds long. I felt like it was longer than that.
Oh, it felt longer. It felt like at least 3 minutes.
I feel like when you're having an episode like
I feel
this,
like it took up a good chunk of the
maybe
episode.
the song shouldn't be that long if it only has about... I can't remember how long the episode is. I know
it got repetitive.
17 minutes is something, I think. I could be wrong.
It got really repetitive.
It got repetitive. It's like, I think this song is a little too long. I could have maybe needed more story than song.
Yeah, like, I would have swapped out, like, half of the song for a little bit more context. And also,
story.
The guy that called Luna hot, we didn't see him at all until the end.
Like,
that's it.
She hung out with his friend group, I guess, because those are the same people that Luna was hanging out with.
All right.
I guess introduced her to his friend group, but she got friends, I guess. Yay.
All right. Let's cut this off and let's just do this sign off here.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we'll start talking about other Helluva Boss. Whatchamacallit.
I got more problems.
All right, that's
all right, and that was our jibber-jab about Helluva Boss season 1, episode 8, Queen Bee. Bye bye, Booches.
Stay beautiful.
I'll probably have to add in the Jinx. And thank you, Jinxy, for being our lovely guest.
It's no problem. I appreciate it. I'm sorry. I've never been on a podcast where I talk to other people before. Usually it's me just reading a Google Doc or something alone. So this is kind of new to me. So yeah, thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
I'm keeping this.
Yeah, I love it.